looking to get that high, just high octane force the pressure definitely versus this orb, because Raydish will be able to control the pace of the match. And if he's successful in doing so, it becomes very difficult to get anything going. Godly, though, with the weapon starts to start off this game number 1.
Yeah, and I want to see how much the pace comment that you mentioned before plays right here, because Raydish is already just off to the races with these boots on. Of course, we're going to see hopefully a swap to the orb right there, because you can simplify your punishes down to like sidelight Sair to get your KOs right here, especially when you get the disarm, but there's the orb online once again.
Air recovery, classic juggle options for Raydish. Definitely be very important versus Asuri, as well as my favorite stage, Apocalypse. Here, going for the end sig. Going for another one there, didn't find his connection on the second time, but Godly, a new option has been presented. Raydish already showing, I'm willing to pull those sigs out. It's only a matter of time before we see that orb side sig for sure, or maybe just a classic sidelight into side air to confirm this stock. Godly.
Right there. There it is, just side air straight up is enough to at least push off right here. Raydish is going to take this one slow, has the weapon as well. Great reversal from Godly, though, to keep this one going.
The sword online, looking to just slowly pick apart Raydish here. Gets the downlight into recovery, doesn't find the KO, but disarms Raydish. Punishes Raydish for picking up the weapon with that side air. The weapon toss as well. Raydish.
Nothing.
Sweat beads. Godly not anticipating the jump.
Wait,
for
nothing
Raydish.
for Godly. There's chase out time.
Bad spot. Godly goes too low. Raydish makes it back. A complete 180 of what we thought was going to happen as Raydish punishes Godly dearly for going so low on that edge guard.
I mean, that was cerebral, wrinkled brain plays from both people, right? Just being so afraid of what the other had to offer right there. Godly will find the equalizer stock right there to make it to a piece. But, I mean, man, we are in for a treat right now. That's how they are thinking about their opponents.
Yeah, absolute tomfoolery off stage there, but Raydish gets the better of it. Godly not too nervous, though, gets the down tick to even it up, and Godly trying to get those half pipes started. Hasn't really gone extended strings on the guitars, but maybe that's not what he's looking for. Big juggle there, recovery into Nair, big damage. And after getting that initial damage, Raydish so ready to just swap onto the orb and really control this pace.
Yeah, not overextending is real nice so far. I mean, damage is very close right there. GC Nair isn't going to be enough, Nenlight, excuse me, isn't going to be enough to do that. Recovery just does not find its mark right there. But you got the slam dunk going for the backboard. Big bird foot as well, just to cover the space. Godly, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, fall on a last stock.
Raydish with the orb online still, looking to create some space between Godly and rack on some extra credit very safely here. Definitely doesn't need to be engaging, and you're seeing that now as Godly really the one to have to push the initiative as Raydish has the stock lead. Down air there, looking to just get this extra damage, but Godly scouring for these KO options. Another down sig off the platform to call out a lax landing from from Raydish there. We get back into a last stock. Very close game, though. I wasn't sure how this was going to go. And already we're seeing very even stuff there into the recovery. Not fully connecting, but some good ideas from Raydish to get these juggle states going. Keep Godly away from you, especially when Godly's on those guitars.
Ooh, okay. Sends it off stage right there. Godly able to reverse the situation for just a moment right now. Raydish gets the action started. Recovery misses. Here comes Godly now.
Nair sends downwards. We see the chase dodge down as well as Raydish has to jump away. Just trying to avoid the weapon toss again from Godly, trying to cover this soft platform, but you see Raydish really finding a home in it. Having to really commit is Godly here, going for these recoveries to call out the soft platform movement. Raydish finds himself off the platform and already in a dangerous spot, going for the big reversal there, but the side light into the downlight, into the side air will close out the stock as Raydish just so calm, cool, and collected there. Even on the last stock where Godly was able to even it up, Raydish saying, you know what, I'm still going to pick up an orb, I'm still going to sit on a soft platform. I'm going to wait for you to come to me, and Raydish succeeds for it.
Yeah, I got nervous. If any Raydish fans are in the chat, that last edgeguard, it's pretty much survive this edgeguard and win the game, right?
Exactly.
Like, because your punish is just so simplified at that point, especially with your positioning on the right side. Just simple Sair, even straight up, would at least have pushed far enough that you could probably have gotten an edgeguard and wrapped it up. But hang on, I can't even talk about it that much longer anymore. Raydish already off with a pretty solid damage string.
Yeah, you have to still respect orb on the ground, especially with that end light and side light. But Godly getting a little bit of a half pipe there. Make sure to put your helmet on for that one. Nair into the side air, catches a jump potentially from Raydish. Yeah, Raydish having to recover high. The sweat beats come online, but doesn't get punished. Downlight into the Nair for some extra damage. Godly doesn't punish the ground pound.
That's crazy. Okay, let her rock. Hang on, Godly. Good edgeguard position right there. Nothing left in the tank. Dodge up right there from Raydish. We saw, I think a gravity cancel tried to come through, but we do reset with both players on the stage. Pretty safe and sound for now.
The last hit of down sig, finding its connection on Raydish, not enough to KO coast to coast. With the weapon toss there, picking up the boots once again, but Godly getting the downlight into recovery, taking the first stock, but you have to still be very careful here because Raydish is going to be cycling back into an orb Just one side light separates an even stock situation here.
Wow, okay, great pickup there. Just get the orb immediate end light right there, trying to cover that one up. There's the bike.
Scouring out, looking for that recovery. Didn't find it. Godly getting some big
Oh, watch Raydish. Watch
Raydish!
Raydish! Okay, Godly, just a very humble God for just a moment right there. Allows Raydish to hang on to that stock for a little bit longer as we even it up 2-2. But that one could have been fireworks in just a moment.
It's kind of a crazy read for Godly to go for down sig there, knowing that you can't find a KO because Raydish has too many options. Just covering the safety that Raydish has with that down sig, getting some extra damage and already snowballing this momentum. Raydish having to land in the corner, fights back with the side air. Nothing too crazy so far, but Raydish dash jumping at center. Godly now cool comment collected. Side six across the stage, catches Raydish's landing. Get out of here with that foolish movement, said Godly as he takes that stock.
They've completely just swapped like brains in terms of like who is playing it slow, who is taking their time. When do you see Raydish approach like that? And Godly's just like, I'm all in for it, let's go. Godly with the lead now, trying to even this one up at 1 game apiece. Can he cross the finish line though? Here comes Raydish with the recovery. Finds another one, gravity cancel into the signature, it's not gonna connect, but Raydish finds it off the ground pound instead.
Incredibly close game as Raydish picks up a weapon here. Still keeping the orb online. Godly looking for a weapon pickup, looking to get back in this game after that unfortunate connection for him, but a fortunate one as Raydish gets a nice edge guard going there. Trying to go for the recovery into the wall, didn't find it. Godly finding back with a sword. Cider sends not too far off stage yet. The damage hasn't been built up, but that one will.
Okay, gravity cancel, side light, trying to just catch Godly out of the sky. Slow and steady wins the race, is Raydish's game plan once again. Whip punish there from Godly. Here's the edge guard position. He touted out the jump and the high recovery as well, but people are scrambling, PJ.
Fighting for every inch. Godly getting the downline into the side air. Raydish struggling to find some control back. Ground pound into the stage, trying to bait Raydish to dodge there. Raydish doesn't fall for the trap though.
Okay, first disarm could be huge right here, but Raydish just does it first right there. He got super punished last time he tried to pick up the weapon. Godly in a little bit of end lag right there. Could not punish the weapon pickup. Recovery's not enough to do it. Next one will go for sure. But why is he doing that?
Side stick into the corner.
Why would you do that?
Afterwards, Raydish, maybe a little bit of nerves, trying to close it out there with a Hail Mary side sig, and Godly punishes it accordingly. An absolute crazy change of pace as Godly is the one who seems cool, calm, and collected after that game one.
Yeah,
Shocking.
I mean, I don't blame the gravity cancel signature in that position, right? Because if Godly jumps into it, sure, it's a KO, you're up 2-0, right? I would assume so at that damage and positioning, but oh my gosh, that is so insane. And yeah, like we said before, kind of like role reversal here. Godly was taking it slow, finding whiff punishes, and then going all the way across the finish line with it. 1-1 now in this set as we go into number game 3. This is insane to watch, PJ.
If we saw those stats there, Raydish, 454 damage on the orb, 0 unarmed, 5 on the battle boots. So Raydish definitely leading into the orb game plan. And
yes.
Godly slowly picking it apart. You have to wonder if Raydish is going to look to kind of mix it up and pick up some battle boots here, or if it's just going to be an all orb day for Raydish.
Yeah, we shall see for sure. I mean, a couple times in terms of just overarching macro positions, Godly has gotten the better end of some exchanges, specifically when Raydish wants to narrow in and zero in on a weapon spawn to get a pickup. So that's why I said disarm so important right here. Let's see if the boots come into play like you said before, PJ.
Godly, first one to pick up a weapon here with the sword online. Raydish gets some boots very quickly afterwards, and already a lot of movement here. Not a lot of buttons hitting. Side air there from Raydish, but Godly fighting back there, going for the big ground pound there. The intrusive thought every sword player has had.
It always wins. It always wins, but Raydish, a bit of a punish right there for Godly, trying to return back to stage, keeping the pressure strong right here, patrolling this weapon spawn as well, or back online.
Side air there from Godly, getting some extra damage. Raydish just so on top of it, though. As soon as Godly over positions, looking to extend his advantage sake, Raydish so ready to flip the situation with these orb disjointed moves. Nice little side air there for some nice damage. Godly getting a side air of his own as well. Keeping it relatively safe as both players. None of them really wanting to swing for anything too crazy, kind of swapping that center stage control.
Godly with a little bit of positioning right here. Does he cover it? Okay, all day, baby. First strike going over to Godly. Easy peasy on that coverage. Raydish playing on the back foot now.
Yeah, I mean, Godly just showing you can't just go for these side sticks. I will find the punish for it. no matter what, and it just makes it that much more difficult for Raydish to really mix it up, even on the recovery. Picking up some battle boots now, though, is Raydish. Hasn't seen a lot of success on the orb this game, as Godly's adapted with the sword
for sure.
Pretty well. Cider sends off stage. Oh, big ground pound.
Nice pickup right there. You cover all the options right here. Don't even give him an option to chase dodge back up as well. Very good play from the Red Raptor right here in Raydish to equalize it back up, but still playing behind in terms of damage here.
Really good resource awareness from Raydish to not go super far off stage to try to confirm that stock versus Godly. Godly can make it back. Raydish with a big juggle there, getting the double nair. I thought we were going to see a GC end sig, but a side like Cider continues the damage for Raydish. Godly getting lapped in damage finally here.
Just like that, Raydish has brought this one back into his favor right here, guarding that weapon spawn once again, but Godly picks up the sword, and I mean, these conversions off of specifically Sidelight, or even just like straight up recovery, have been enough to keep him in the game.
Sidelight looking to just confirm this KO, Godly knowing that dashes forward, gets the Endlight into the Cider, covering the immediate jump from Raydish.
Ground
His
pound.
arm, though, oh yeah, you called it there. The ground pound comes in. Raydish doesn't get caught by it, but we see a D-Light into GC breakdance. There's always time to dance for Godly in the Autumn Royale if you're taking a stock over Raydish.
Yeah, Raydish took to the skies with that gravity cancel signature right there. Just did not have enough hitbox on the bottom side, so breakdance was enough to find that KO, and just like that, the tides have turned back towards Godly. Can Raydish find the reply stock?
Godly covering the dodge there, didn't find the right timing for it. Raydish dodging upwards to avoid that half pipe. Sidelight into side air will confirm the stock, though. We are down to last stock once again, while very, very close matches already for game 3.
Okay, yeah, and we're seeing the orb just right from the jump here, PJ. Like you said before, boots, kind of a non-factor in that previous game. We were seeing a little bit more in this game 3. Godly's got to play patient right now. Here's the guitars.
Recovery there. Just some juggling, as Godly can't really find much safety on that soft platform. Orb really good at sharking it. Speaking of sharking, the downlights coming in. Godly really fishing for this combo starter. Hasn't really found it, though.
Okay, Raydish, yeah, just not jumping right here. I don't blame Godly for just hard swapping at that point, right? Like, those downlights were not working in those positions.
You see the difference when Raydish is underneath that platform, looking to stay very grounded, sharking the soft platform.
Yeah.
And when there's no platform, Raydish is jumping, throwing out those down airs. So able to just switch between the two modes. Very important, as that soft platform is going to be moving to the left side. Godly extending this juggle with the double nair.
Okay, Raydish touched down, though, so there is a little bit of signs of life here. Both players even right there. There's the recovery. Next one KOs for sure. It was enough to disarm, but Raydish primed it to get a second orb. It don't even matter, though, when Godly can get that second recovery to go 2-1 now, going over to Godly.
Just absolute control in these really, really scrambly last stock situations. Finding that confirmed there with the GC downlight into recovery twice to confirm the stock, as Raydish faltering once again in that disadvantage state. As soon as Godly gets the first juggle going at that high damage, it becomes so hard for Raydish to get back on the game with Orb. You need space to make Orb work versus this Asuri, and Godly not in the business of giving Raydish any space for free.
Godly 1 game away from his round-robin record, I believe becoming 5-4. He'll have one more set on the day today, but this is important because it does depend on whether or not he starts tomorrow in the winner's side of our bracket.
Some already very aggressive play from Godly. Endlight into Sidelight, just looking to rush down Raydish. Raydish answering back with these Orb Endlights, though. So much damage there into the recovery, gets punished by Godly as we don't find a connection, but that downlight side air will find his connection, as Godly looks to confirm with that ground pound. Doesn't find it, but the downlight into the
second
recovery. Not quite enough to KO, but it's really scary. Raydish flips the situation. Godly had sweat beats, but goes high above Raydish's edgeguard attempt. Another recovery comes in, though, for Godly, as Raydish gets disarmed, flipping the situation once again. Raydish has to depend on these battle boots to give himself some reprieve. Godly holding onto this sword, as it is a money maker in this game 4.
Oh, okay. Does dodge straight through, though. I don't know if he's going to get any reprieve quite yet there, PJ. Godly looking for the recovery. Fishes for it right there. Surely that's a whip punish, and there it is for first strike.
Jumping upwards towards the corner to force Raydish to rely on the soft platform. Dash lands on it and goes for the downlight, confirms after it. Godly playing absolutely on fire with the micro movement. So clean.
Oh, yeah. Okay, tries a GCD light there on Raydish's landing. Not going to get too much more after that. Godly just so slippery right now, just making his way through. Raydish having to use these boots, throws it away, doesn't have anything left in the tank right now. No weapon spawn in sight. He is just confused, looking around right now. Godly finds it, and it's a bike straight collision to the head right there to even this one up.
And that's just sometimes all it takes, and it's why it's such a potent mix-up for Raydish. You might feel lost, you might feel like you don't have any safety. Throw out a side stick that covers half the stage, and sometimes it works. even on the best like Godly. Big damage though for Raydish. Sidelight into side air. Godly fighting back with a downer out of disadvantage. Downlight into the nair to send off stage. Going for another dash land on that soft platform into that downlight.
Okay, looking for recovery right here. Godly's found the sword. Wait a minute, there's the Sair.
Dodging in place, Raydish with the movement, looking to just avoid this onslaught of hitboxes. Godly can present the end light, sends off stage. Raydish having to go low here. Godly looking for that downlight, didn't find it. Raydish goes back to center stage. A nair for your troubles, but didn't find the end sig there.
Sidelight Sair keeping it simple right now. Does he just try to starve right here? He doesn't have the disarm quite yet. Traded gravity cancels right there. Raydish gets the better end of that exchange.
Recovery doesn't get hit. Godly chasing down the landing with the downlight. Godly's coverages on Raydish's landing has been absolutely pristine, covering all of these options. Raydish using the very last part of the drift, trying to get back into the corner for some safety. Godly, once again, not in the business of giving Raydish any stage control.
Okay, yeah, and the boots are online as well as Godly picks that one right up, tries to get this gravity cancel and light to try to keep this one going. Not going to get too much more after that. Raydish, surely you get a KO right here. Yeah. There's the weapon toss. Excellent stuff, keeping this one close, but you got to play this stock pretty perfect now.
Godly reeling back, knowing that you're now going to have to face the Raydish weapon starve attempt. Fighting backside air into the nair. No jump needed. Just some nice damage as Godly picks up some guitars. I'm sure he wants to be on that sword, but Raydish not going to give him anything. Sidelight into side air, sends off stage, covering the recovery attempt. Another sidelight into side air. It's the Orb Classic.
It's the Orb Classic. You are absolutely right, but Godly's got a little bit of stage right there. He takes a recovery to the face. Raydish trying to look for the disarm right here, or a stock outright wouldn't be half bad either. Uh-oh, here comes Godly. He has been so good at reading these jumps and high angles from Raydish, returning back towards the stage. Will the same hold true here, or are we going to go to a game number 5? Dodges through the weapon spawn. Oh, no. There's the sweat beats from Godly, but Raydish has to pick up a second orb. He's pondering for a second. Godly desperately trying to come back. Is it going to be a ground pound? No, Raydish just too patient.
Dashes back into center stage, fighting back, going for the downlight. Trying to cover. Raydish is landing, but Raydish does the same to Godly as the side air forces game number 5. The orb being the pillar for Raydish here, forcing this game 5, really leading onto it and completely dismantling the aggressive game plan. As soon as Godly respawned and was able to pick up that Katars, it just went all awry as the orb took apart that Katars.
Insane stuff. Oh, Magic Orb, are we going to go to a game 5? That is an emphatic yes right here. Godly and Raydish, a clash of Europe and North America, taking it all the way to a game 5 right here. So important for Godly to try to find his place in the top 5 placers today.
Godly switching over to the Wushang. I know Godly talked about playing Wushang earlier on Friday, and also has played it in some sets, but swapping game 5 into Wushang with no similar weapons to Asuri, very interesting from Godly, but really playing into the gauntlets, saying, you know what, if you're going to try to keep me away with Orb, I'm going to stack on top of you with gauntlets and pick you apart. And so far it's working, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, best defense is a lot of offense, so it seems sometimes right here. All that being said, though, Godly playing from behind in terms of damage on this first stock. Raydish trying to bounce the ball off the ground for just a second. Oh, first stock going over to Raydish.
It almost worked in that game number 2, but there it finds its connection, the very horizontal hitbox of it, and Godly stuck in this damage deficit. Picking up the gauntlets, definitely what he wants to lean into, but Raydish getting the game going on the orb there. We see him recover back to center stage, saying, I don't want to go too risky off stage, just disengaging, but as I say that, the downer connects, going for the side air there, on the high landing, didn't find it, but it finds a side air there. Godly getting back to center stage, and once again, trying to just find any opening on Raydish, but Raydish,
he looks untouchable. He looks untouchable right now. Raydish sidelight side air once again. Edgeguard position covers it. Godly, no weapon in hand either. Tries to just let it rip right there, but not able to get it. Recovery won't connect either, and Godly is reaching, my friend.
The recovery finally disarmed the orb, giving Godly a little bit of reprieve from it, but the disarm recovery still connects and continues this juggle state. Going for the recovery there, that would have definitely KO'd Raydish. Looking for this KO, nice dodge through it.
Whip punish, it's easy right there for Raydish.
Side air, Raydish forcing Godly on his last stock here. Just one stock separates Raydish from his positive record he's looking for in the round robin.
Can Godly mount a 3-stock comeback right here? Let's see, the legend swap, could it be a blessing or a curse right now? It is not looking good for any of our Europe fans here so far. Godly finds the first stock, needs the next 2.
Can never count Godly out though, especially with the gauntlets online. One edgeguard separates Godly from forcing this last stock. Raydish gonna be very confident here, realizing I don't have to push the issue. I don't really even need to pick up a weapon yet. I can remain elusive unarmed.
Okay, Godly, let him cook for just a second. No weapon, though. Okay, advantage over to Raydish, and there's that scary orb. Once again, we saw so much damage get racked up. Just waits for the dodge. So patient once again from Raydish. Godly, a little bit of initiative right here. Finds the gravity cancel downlight. Not going to get too much more after that, but able to pick up the spear. This is the shot he needs, but here comes Raydish once again.
Big damage there. Godly with a recovery. Gets punished. And, oh, Godly just having no resources. Raydish takes it just like that. Raydish 3-1 over, or was that game 5? I'm just so
3-2, yeah.
3-2 game 5 over Godly. I'm absolutely flabbergasted on the ending. The down air's very last hitbox was able to connect there and close it out. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, this is very, very interesting here with that.